Dear venomfangx, I get the comment of why do I waste my time with you with an increasing frequency. The answer is simple. You're a poster boy for creationist stupidity, and as such you are fantastic for demonstrating to the important demographic of Middle America and elsewhere the contrast between scientifically illiterate creationists.
Do you like being on the cutting edge of knowledge? The Bible has always been years ahead of scientists. It is one of the most advanced science books around.
So, in a big loud voice, who should you always trust first, God or the scientist? God, and I want you to remember that.
The Bible is the most scientifically accurate book in the entire world.
Science leads you to killing people. Yeah. Good word, good word.
Versus scientifically literate academics and what they bring to civilization.
We are go for Apollo 11. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
Powered by 7.6 million pounds of thrust, the astronauts of Apollo 11 began a journey to immortality. 2 minutes and 40 seconds after liftoff, the Apollo 11 crew was 40 miles up and ready to turn it up a notch.
If you look at the Intel 45 nanometer device technology, we can fit 400 transistors on something about the size of a human blood cell.
Using computer animation based on molecular research, we are now able to see how DNA is actually copied in living cells.
However, Venom, it is becoming increasingly clear that your antics are now more often seen as a source for pity rather than humour. Your assertions have gotten increasingly erratic, claiming to have won a Nobel Prize,
I can disprove evolution,
to have disproved evolution, and to have made the most important video ever made, and all in less than 1 week. This change seems to have been accompanied by a fall in viewer statistics. Your videos now struggle to make it even past the 10,000 mark, an amazing feat given that you have over 11,000 subscribers. Maybe God is trying to tell you something, Venom. Or maybe it's something to do with the nature of your videos, tempered with your ability to turn 30 seconds of content into a 10-minute unstructured ramble. I mean, think about it. If a video gets 10,000 views, that's 1,500 man-hours wasted just because you were not willing to structure your argument. As for ratings, oh yeah, that's right, you don't get ratings because God tells you to censor them. Well, people mirror your videos, and they typically get ratings of about 1.1 stars, which, given the star rating goes from 1 to 5, gives you a rating of about 3%. In an exam, Venom, that's about the mark you would expect if you can spell your name correctly. Evidently, having God on your side is nowhere near as convincing as a thoughtful and well-reasoned argument solidly based on facts. Venom, I appreciate your eagerness, but pestering me with needy messages and telling all your subscribers to pester me with needy messages is not a way of making you a renowned scientist. If you want to make a genuine contribution, you have to get your ideas published in the peer-reviewed literature and to win an academic consensus, just like every other idea in history. The conventional way to do this is to become scientifically literate in your chosen subject. This usually takes about 6 years. That's 3 years to get acquainted with the subject, or an undergraduate or Bachelor of Science, and about 3 years to become a competent scientific researcher. That's a PhD. You'll then have some credibility to attract funding, and to propose experiments to test hypotheses, to gain an understanding of what is currently unknown to mankind, or to reappraise an existing theory. I'll be honest, Venom, I personally get a great deal of satisfaction from the contributions I have made to the academic literature, and am filled with a moral satisfaction by knowing that long after I am dead and forgotten, the knowledge gained by the work of my hands will be playing an active, if small, part in making people's lives better. It's a sort of philanthropic giving from beyond the grave, just as our civilization is built on the knowledge of thousands of scientists who have gone before us. We have forgotten their names, but the work of their hands has given us a civilization that is a near utopia compared to theirs. But being an academic is no soft option, Venom. Unless you are producing thoughtful, rigorous, and convincing work in the peer-reviewed literature, no one will show any interest in you or your papers. It's a hard meritocracy. On an academic level, this is where your latest deleted video, humbly titled "The Most Important Video Ever Made," lies. It takes a fundamental ignorance of the scientific method and expresses it in a manner that can only be described as a not unintentional and purposefully undecloaking of the non sequitur by planning to unincorporate multiple reverse anti-double negatives into almost every sentence. Yeah, that's right, you ludicrously and needlessly overcomplicate your sentences. I mean, Venom, your 11-minute video of torturing reasoned argument with a blowtorch and pliers and bastardizing almost every logical fallacy in the book could be adequately summarized as venomfangx incorrectly asserts that evolution isn't falsifiable, and is therefore false. How to falsify evolution? Fossil bunnies in the Cambrian! But in simplistic terms, Venom, trying to convince people you academically know what you're talking about when you don't know the difference between homologous and homogeneous.
If this is the case, evolution theory is guilty of using homogeneous structures as evidence of common ancestry. It is therefore necessary to build an ancestral history based on verifiable evidence, not homogeneous structures in the fossil record.
Is comparably unconvincing to a religious sort claiming divine insight into Christianity while not knowing the difference between Judas and Jesus. Kinda lacks a certain credibility, you know. Anyway, I'm done with this for the meantime, Venom. I have real-world things to be getting on with. But if you consider this little interchange a debate, who do you think won? What metric would you use? Again, on paper, you have the high ground, Venom. You have more subscribers, and 2/3 of the traffic to these videos comes from the US, almost all of whom believe in the Christian God. The track record so far is you deleted, by my count, 4 of the 7 videos you have posted on the subject, while all of mine are still there. And yes, I apologise to all those mails I've never got round to reading or replying to, but it's now got to the point where just to read and reply to the messages would in itself constitute a full-time job. I'm very grateful for the words of support and the suggestions, and of course would like to help out with what I can, but ultimately I'm only one man with 24 hours in the day. Anyway, the point is, Venom, you keep messaging me to watch videos which are typically deleted within a week. That's a pretty short shelf life given that evolution is still standing strong after over 150 years of harsh scrutiny by the smartest people on the planet. Let's have a simple, fair vote on this. If you think Thunderfoot was the victor in this exchange, vote 5 stars. If you think venomfangx was the victor, vote 1 star. There will be no recounts. There will be no bitching about the ballot being confusing. The count will stand on its merits. Democracy shall declare the victor. The outcome will be incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is.